for Flabonga Monthrothacube. With Dale and Tony breaking all the rules. Talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
What a tune. I mean, am I going to get slayed? Let's go.
Good afternoon. This is Flabonga Monthrothacube. I am Dale Rodriguez, and today I've got my awesome guest. I need to say your name, buddy. Need to say your name.
James Sundin from R.E.S.U.L.T.
From Represent. Did you know it's really hard to tag you on social media because you've got to do R.E.P or type it out and then put the dots in afterwards to make sure it tags you correctly? Did you do it on purpose, or was it a design flaw?
Yeah,
are you aware of this?
No, certainly not. Completely intentional. Same as there's no full stop after the T as well. But yeah, the thought process behind it, like how could you like absolutely destroy thumbs whilst also increasing brand awareness and visibility?
Cool.
Gotcha.
Cool. Yeah, it worked. This is your 4th time on the show. First of all, thank you for coming back this many times.
Thanks for having me, man.
Second of all, we're going to take 10 seconds, maybe less, of silence to honor our fallen brother, Tony Stevenson, who has man flu, which we all know is a fatal disease. So just... This will make for terrible content for anyone who's listening, by the way. That's enough time. We don't care that much about Tony. We care, but we don't care that much to do that much silence. You know what I mean? All right, for those who don't know you, please could you explain who you are, a bit of your background, and what Represent does? That's 3 questions.
Sure. Yeah, so my name is James Sundin. My background, I have been doing what I do now with all different sizes of accountancy practices across the globe over the last 12 years. So I've worked for software vendors, so some really popular or hated names, depending on your preference. So I've worked for Sage, I've worked for Iris. I spent some time in the Salesforce ecosystem working for a company called Conga. And I was headhunted into a role in practice where I was chief commercial officer at what is now a top 80 accounting firm. And yeah, whilst I was there, put them through several consecutive years of phenomenal growth and several £1 million. And then I went, I'll tell you what, I'm really well valued, I'm really well paid. I'm just going to risk everything. And with my OG Antonetta Pop, the fiery red-headed Romanian devil of a woman that she is, let's invest our entire life savings, start this bootstrap startup called Represent. That was a little over 2 years ago now. And same as everyone, you start out very, very humble beginnings. We've gone from no clients, nobody paying us anything, to 2 years in, way in excess of £1.5 million in annual recurring revenue. We now service 5 different countries around the world from 3 countries. We provide 37 different services to those 5 countries from those 3 countries. And have 14 co-founders, 2 of which aren't on the website. And I'm not even going to tell you why.
Let's go. I'm happy to hear your success, because you actually came on the show just as you started Represent, like 2 years ago. I think you just formed the limited company like a month before, if that. The website wasn't live yet, and you came on, and you just came on to help the show with your presence. So thank you for coming back. We have to jump into the comments though, because Sam Green has made a fantastic comment. Sam Green, he says, I'm assuming Tony isn't on today as he refused to take part when someone taller than him is on as a guest.
How savage do you want me to be?
I mean, he's not here, so savage it up, like go crazy.
It's not hard to be taller than Tony, so that's point number 1. Secondly, I feel like Tony can be easily intimidated by a better rugby player, if I'm honest with you, Dale. So it's probably got something to do with it. But Sam, thinking about, I heard you said something which apparently is, if you say James Sundin in a mirror 3 times, then I appear to help you sell.
I said that.
I think yeah, you said that. I said that. There you go. Quoting you. Didn't even know it. But yeah, I think Tony did that, but he did it 4 times. And put it like this, mate, you won't do it again.
I love this. I hope Tony sees it at some point. That's why I like having you on the show, by the way.
This is like a Tony roast.
That's all it's going to be, is Tony roasting for the next hour and a half. It's not going to be that long. We haven't got time for that. When you were first on, you talked about phases. Phase 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4. You're now on phase 4. Let's go back a step. I assume phase 1 was just, starting the business, right? I assume.
Yeah, correct. So we started off. You start a bootstrap startup, you know how much cash you've got in the bank, you know how long you can survive for before you need to jack it in and go and find employment again and, have somebody else approve your holiday, right? And all the rest of the stuff that comes with it. We got to that position. We knew exactly what we wanted to do as part of stage 2. I did some consultancy and strategy work with a client that I previously sold a Sage product to that kept in contact with me. And incidentally, and like perfectly timed, sent me a message via LinkedIn after us not speaking for like 2 years, saying, "Yo, James, what you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, I've actually started my own business doing X, Y, and Z." He was like, "Cool, what would 20 grand get me?" And I was like, "Me on a flight."
Yep.
So they are not an accountancy practice; they're a textile business. They produce in India and they distribute in the USA. So I basically did some work, a remote training with their US team, but a couple of things around operations, around automation as part of their sales cycle and processes. So I can kind of like remapped everything. That got us 20 grand, which meant I didn't have to go and win clients I didn't want to work with, like a lot of people do when they first start a business.
Yep.
And then for basically the rest of stage 1, we just basically sorted out a vast extent of shareholding agreements, governing, like at the time, 4 different entities across 2 countries.
Cool. All right, then. That's stage 1. Stage 2?
Stage 2, we learned some lessons. So I think the whole thing around, if you compare a software business and a service business, right? So software businesses push updates. If they're really good ones, sometimes they do that daily, they do it weekly, they do it monthly. If they're crap, they do it quarterly, right? It depends on what that update is going to be. For service businesses, so many of them sit, do that, and don't evolve and change in line with their customers' requirements. So we won some clients, things were going well. We had rapid growth very, very quickly. We outgrew our first offices in India within 4 months. And then we opened the new one, which we are still in situ at the moment, but we opened the new one. So rapid growth there. But we had customers of ours coming to us for other needs and requirements. So we took it from just helping them win clients. We then took it to helping them deliver compliance-based services from India. We also then brought in specified specialists with regards to payroll management. So managing payroll is a fully managed service, getting everything sorted. We then had inklings with regards to the IT side of things. And then we started the very early stages of looking at data and data automation, what the accounting market was ready for. So helping them win clients, helping them deliver compliance services, HCM, so fully managed payroll services, a little bit around the IT standpoint, and a little bit on the automation as well. And that was stage 2.
Cool. Another interrupting question. You mentioned that you scaled quite rapidly in India. You had offices in India within 4 months. Why India specifically? Was it just like somewhere that you've been to before, worked with before? You just like the country and the temperament? Like why India?
All of the above. So there's some incredibly talented and gifted people in India that I've worked with over my 12-year tenure in the accounting and finance industry in various different companies. People's perception on India, obviously any perception differs and it is subjective based upon your own experience. But a lot of people were working with team members in India in the wrong way, right? A lot of the clients that work with us now really successfully, a couple of case studies that are literally on the delivery page of our website. So Utopia, Northern Tonic, so great firms that we've got case studies on the delivery page on our website for, but they've worked with outsourcing or offshoring businesses in India before. Taking example from the Utopia one, like they were working with an Indian-based outsourcer for 12 months. They started working with us, and within 2 months, we'd halved their headcount, we'd halved their cost, and we doubled output for year-end accounts and corporation tax returns within 2 months now. So much more than that now. We've been working with them for like a solid 18 months or so, but it's around the right people, the right processes, the right systems, the right setup. It's like people that have tried outsourcing or offshoring before, whether it's India, Philippines, South Africa, Nepal, wherever it is in the world that you've tried, other people see success, but you might not have. So what is the problem? It's either the people that you're working with, the processes that you've adopted, or it's actually you and your firm. You weren't set up and equipped properly in order to take advantage and be able to properly harness and work with great employees overseas. So yeah, we've simplified the whole thing down. We set some really clear expectations, and who we bring in, who we hire, it's different from the industry norm of years of experience, level of qualification, and what software you've used before.
Cool. Before we go on to level 3 and level 4, I would like to go back a step and ask you a phase 3, phase 4, sorry. Stage, phase, whatever. I want to go back a step.
Yes, mate.
Semi-personal question. When you were in phase 1, phase 2, was there ever a moment where you felt like you genuinely wanted to give up? And can you remember a specific trigger that made you want to do like a deal went wrong or something didn't quite go to plan, anything like that?
So twofold to that question. Was there ever a point that I ever wanted to give up or thought about giving up? No.
Okay.
It would make me, sorry to be straight direct about it, it might make me more relatable to some of the audience, but absolutely not. There's never been a single doubt in my mind that this was the right thing, it was the right time, and it's that. Do you know what it is? I think that sheer uncontrollable self-belief, I think that's so important for successful business owners. And do you know what it is? You've got to be kind of tapped anyway to run a business, otherwise everyone would do it. It's an incredibly hard thing. But that self-belief and that self-belief, it has never wavered, and there's never been a point where I wanted to give up, right? Has there been difficult moments? Holy mother of Jesus, yes.
Okay. What's like a one? I've asked the question. What's a difficult moment that pops up in your head that you can share? It's not,
absolutely. Transparently, in one day, we had £250,000 worth of contractual revenue cancelled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's that's a lot.
Yeah. You know, it is any business, right? So you take on clients, you know what you do, you know how you do it, you know the value that you bring to the table. Yeah. You do these things, you sort these things, you hire people, bring people in, set up office IT equipment, leases, this, that, all of the stuff and the components that you need to do as part of that delivery.
Yep.
And then you try and operate on terms where it's got so much freedom and flexibility with your clients, and that's part of your, that's part of your USP, how you differentiate yourself. And then you get into it, and you get into that initial period, and people make mistakes in business. We had clients that had made mistakes. We had clients that, after a couple of days of working with their member of staff once they were going live, they turned around and made some calls and decisions without any form of involvement from me, leaving me in a really difficult situation. They did so with the best intentions, but didn't necessarily think about all of the variables, and left me personally in a really, really difficult situation. Another, their advice to me, they got their numbers and figures wrong.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So these things happen, right? And I think as a business owner, you can do one of two things. You can either go, yeah, that's shit. Don't get me wrong. For about 30 seconds, I went, I could have really have done without this right now. Right? But then you've got to turn around and go, actually, these people that have come in, it wasn't right because of X, Y, and Z reasons. They fed back on that. Great, no worries at all. You either win or you learn, right? Great saying from Graham Tennick, who's our CFO, one of my co-founders, my personal accountant, and one of my best mates in the entire world, right? You either win or you learn. And we learned so much. We learned about that particular market, that particular segment, what we need to change and what we need to do to further evaluate that requirement before somebody comes on board. But then just, straps, well, me personally, I strapped my big boy pants on and I cracked on and fixed it. So yeah, £250,000 in one day. Yep. Getting notice on that was probably the hardest moment in business in the last 2 years.
You said it's a contractual $250,000. Does that mean you get to claim some of it back, or is literally the company was no longer trading, couldn't do it, so they had to pull out and couldn't afford you? Did you even get any of that back?
No. So one of them served notice. So a lot of our contracts we operate on a rolling 90-day agreement, Dale. We don't want to tie people into a big, long, lengthy contract. because it's pointless. Like, our clients stay with us because they love us, and I quite like that. So we typically align our contractual periods with our clients to the contractual periods for the members of staff that we're bringing in order to deliver whatever we're delivering, right? But yeah, so we had that period with one of them in particular. It was very much so. It could have gone very, very sour and very, very bad, but I think they're great human beings. Like, genuinely, I think they're awesome. Still got time for them. Like, we still interact and we're still absolutely cool. But it was just a case of, I was like, yeah, do you know what it is? Like, let's cut our losses. Let's deal with this situation. Let's take a step back from there, and then we'll reflect on it following with regards to payment and notice periods. So yeah, lessons learned, mate. But that's the bipolar roller coaster of running a business, isn't it? Keeps it exciting, keeps it fresh, keeps you on your toes.
Very positive spin on it. Do you know what's really hard about talking to you on this show? It's one, I think we get along generally outside of the show. Two, because you've been on so many times, all of my pattern interruption techniques won't work on you. One, because you're a seasoned salesperson, and two, you've already heard all of them. I think I've asked you the who would you punch question. I've asked you that one, right? That's been done already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
You've had the coffee question.
I still don't want to punch you, but if I had to choose somebody, then yeah, sure, bring it on. Let's go.
I'm not a fictional character.
Did I just do what you were talking about back to
Also,
you?
bigger men have tried. So let's go. Let's go.
I don't fight with the family, Dale. I don't fight with
exactly.
The family,
it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
I know your techniques to throw me off. You tried on the first episode and you failed miserably. So
I think I did a pretty good job. I think it made it entertaining. Yes. Do you know what's really fun? It's fun. It is fun doing it to salespeople, because like people do it to me all the time. And it's nice just being on the other side and just messing a little bit. But also, I do it on purpose because I just want people to talk as honestly as possible, which you generally do most of the time. But I strongly dislike it when we get someone on and they're so overtly selling. I'm like, calm down, man. We're just talking. We're just talking.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Say less, fam. Say less.
Okay, so let's change gears a little bit. You are not in the UK at the moment. You are elsewhere. Where is you?
I'm in South Africa.
Banging. Have you had any braais yet?
I am going to a braai this evening with one of my new co-founders in stage 4, Dustin. So me and Antonetta, or Anto, or Annie, if you know her on a personal level, we are going around to Dustin's house this evening. So with his family, with other co-founders, if you're going to be involved in multiple different countries around the world, embrace the culture, be part of it, and there's nothing more from a cultural alignment than family, great people, good times, shared over great food and braais, mate. So yeah, we're going to a braai this evening. Is
this your first official braai, or have you been to a braai before?
I have been to about 8 braais in my life. This will be my first braai in South Africa, though.
Okay. Do you reckon the braai is going to be different in South Africa? Like, do you reckon the meat's different, or the seasons are different, or do you reckon it'll be the same?
No. I think if you are a South African that's come to the UK and you make a braai, you will make a braai just as well and probably in the same way as a South African person living in South Africa.
Well, you say that, but like Jamaicans who make Jamaican food in the UK, not always the same as Jamaicans nationals, because some of the seasonings and herbs aren't available. It's slightly different flavour.
Jamaican me crazy, Dale Rodriguez. That's what you're doing.
Very good.
Thanks.
When you are consuming chicken, I assume you consume chickens. You're not vegan, are you? You haven't done that yet?
Listen, you don't get to 110, 115 kilogram and 6'4", 6'5" by consuming vegetables, mate. Absolutely not.
You could eat a lot of lentils and legumes.
Okay. Yeah. I am a meat eating, 0% beer swigging man of the north.
Right. So, chicken or thigh? Breast or thigh when it comes to chicken?
Thigh.
Thigh, yeah. More succulent.
Yeah, why would you mess? Better flavour, more succulent. If you don't like bones, that's fine. Take the bones out.
Yeah. Favourite cut of beef or steak?
Fillet.
Okay.
Not just the tonadus of the fillet, the entire fillet of the cow. So if you think about the whole fillet, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want on the braai tonight. So Justin asked me earlier on, he's like, any special requirements for the braai? I was like, a whole fillet, please, mate. There you
That's fantastic, and that's just for you, right? That's not, you're not sharing that. That's just yours.
No, I don't like Joey from Friends.
Don't
I
share
don't.
food.
I don't share food. No.
Do you know what's really upsetting? There's a whole generation now of people who might be listening to this who've never watched Friends.
Do you know what it is? Very unpopular opinion. I'm not that much of a Friends fan, so I don't think they're. I don't think they're too disadvantaged. If I'm honest with you, don't watch it.
I mean,
like,
okay. Some of it has not aged well.
no.
And rewatching some of it recently, like there's parts of them just like, why don't they just use their phone to communicate? It's like, oh no, this came out when mobile phones weren't ubiquitous, so there's none of that. There's no Google Maps. There's no mobile phones. There's none of that.
They don't remember CD-ROMs. They don't remember dial-up internet. They don't remember N64 probably, unless they're in some retro arcade or what gets covered in history nowadays. You know what I mean? Is it like, oh, there's this band called the Backstreet Boys? Like, how old are we, Dale? How old are we?
I mean, I'm almost 40, so I'll take that. What are your thoughts on the current rap genre and movement? If you listen to any rap music,
I do listen to rap. What are my thoughts with regards to what plane of conversation?
Well, just like like rap has changed over the last 20, 30 years. You've got like now like mumble rap. You've got UK grime. It's not the same as it was in like the 2000s. What are your thoughts on the change in the rap genre?
I think you've got some absolute inebriates of rappers that don't even say words. The power of words is incredible. Where you think about some of the greatest rappers of all time, where you think about somebody like Eminem, for example, right? So not just for anything else other than, if you think about the lyrical content, the structure of words, the manipulation of language in what he does, how he purveys that, how he puts that across, the speed, the tempo, the tone, everything around it, you don't have that. Yes, Eminem is one of many. That is a rare treat. But you don't have rappers of that genre coming through anymore. I think people just need to give their heads a bit of a wobble and start pronouncing the words properly. And I think that covers off not just rap, that's like life in general.
Agreed. Are you familiar with any K-pop by any chance?
No.
Bit of a reach, I know.
No. I've heard of K-pop, and if it's affiliated, I don't even know if it is. I'm probably so far from the youth, it's unreal. But K-pop Demon Hunters was a thing, I believe, and it was.
It's still a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is still a thing. Yeah. Absolutely no idea what it is.
I only know because I have a young daughter and it's infiltrated school. Essentially, it's a movie, or I think a TV show, with really good backing music, and the main characters are K-pop artists. Now, what I didn't realize is K-pop is an umbrella term for like music from Korea. So like Gangnam Style is one of the most famous K-pop songs, but not all K-pop sounds like Gangnam Style. So I've been joining a friend. She's on a show called Mildly Obsessed now, and it's about a band called the Stray Kids, and the reason why is tenuous link. They rap in their songs, and their rap and flow are amazing. And these mofos are so talented, they can rap in Korean, English, and sometimes Japanese. And it's just, you're talking about the wordplay, to be able to do that in 3 different languages and have the cadence and the rhythm, and it makes sense, and have double wordplay in different languages. That is incredible. I recommend checking them out just for that alone.
That is phenomenal. I'm generally making a note very quickly on my phone because I'm totally in for that. I think rap from like different languages as well, like French rap.
Yep.
Oh, down dirty, grungy French rap from like hood rats. Oh my days, Dale. Oh my days. Very, very big fan. But
I remember a few years ago, I heard.
I feel enriched.
I was going to say, a few years ago, I remember hearing a South African rapper. I'm probably showing my age here. I think it's called R.E.S.U.L.T, and he was aggressive. In fact, I'm going to Google that while we're on here. Bear with me. Feel free to entertain the guests while I type away. So he was a group. No, yeah, R.E.S.U.L.T, ANTWOORD, South African rap duo, hip hop duo. Some ballsy lyrics going on there.
Ballsy lyrics.
Yeah,
love it.
You've been asked the coffee question already as well, haven't you? Like, there's nothing new to you anymore.
I mean, have your questions not changed in the last 2 years, though?
Well, they've evolved. So like Tony's come on and added a few new ones. They've tweaked and changed, and we've had a few ones, but I can't remember which ones I've asked you, to be honest. So, for example, Tony's coffee question is: when you're out and about, normally you go to like your favorite artisanal place or one of those really good places like Watch House, for example, or Black Sheep. But if they're not available and you've got to go to one of the big commercial chains, which commercial chain are you choosing?
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Why Starbucks?
I think you get a better buying experience than you do in Costa, for example.
Okay.
So you got to think about it. You're like, are you just buying it for the cup of coffee and that like
Yes.
quite acidic richness covering your palate? If it was that as a standalone, I would say Starbucks, right? So
Okay.
there's my point. Firstly, but you think about the whole experience as a consumer, how you're greeted, the staff, the ambience of the coffee shop, the decoration, all of the above. Yeah, Starbucks wins, man. Like everywhere else just seems a bit, I don't know. I'm from a council estate in Salford, but it just seems like a bit of a Pavo shop. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, nah, I want to have a nice experience, man. I'm going to Starbucks. If places like Black Sheep aren't available, because, yeah, Black Sheep or like independent roasters like Pumphrey's in the Northeast. So,
Yep.
yeah, they're, Jamaican
It's gonna
Black
be
Mountain. Jamaican Black Mountain is, oh, my goodness me, D-Rod. Amazing.
is it Black Mountain or Blue Mountain? I think it's Blue Mountain.
Great question.
I
Great
think it's Blue
question.
Mountain.
One of the two.
But anyway,
One of the two.
but I'm with you on that one. And it's funny you say that because I said this before on another stream. I call it the Starbucks effect, right? Like you're right. They are the reason why coffee became so popular around the world where coffee doesn't usually grow, especially in the UK. Like I say, the Starbucks effect, right? They took a ubiquitous commodity, especially in America where they're known for drinking coffee, and they made an experience. Right? You go in there, you're dressed like your regular self, but they treat you like a king or a queen. Hey, sir, nice to see you, blah, blah. They give this really amazing customer experience. And what they did, they took something very, very cheap and commercial and just made you feel nice about getting a coffee. They were the first ones to like break the UK in terms of coffee. And again, it was like, you can go in there as a young teen or as a young person working, go in there, Wi-Fi, sit on nice comfy chairs. Like the whole experience was changed because of Starbucks. And I often notice that other businesses do it. So going back to R.E.S.U.L.T, finance, accounting, fintech. I think Xero did that very, very well, didn't they? Like they're one of the first ones to do it in the UK accounting space. The Starbucks effect. Let's not just make it about the software. Let's make it about the experience. Let's make it awesome. Let's make it fun. Let's make it exciting. I think more businesses should do it where possible.
Absolutely. I think it's summarised in something I shared yesterday. Following being out here in South Africa, our launch event on Monday and the party and everything else around that. But being at the Xero roadshows this week. So the one in Cape Town was on Tuesday, 2,000 people. Oh my goodness, absolutely blew the roof off. And I've had the pleasure of, I guess, attending Xero events in the UK, in Australia, and now South Africa as well. UK obviously coming up in July from a XeroCon perspective. And there's a potential I'll also be joining XeroCon Canada as well in the events that they've got going on in October of this year. So I can officially feed back, Dale, and tell you who has got the best parties because they do differ on a country-by-country basis, right?
Get out of my head. I was going to ask you which XeroCon is best and why. Literally, that was my next question. You know me all too well.
Dude, if I'm living in your head rent-free, I know exactly what you think. Welcome to my world, friend. Which one is the best so far? So when you say best, define best. Do you mean like maddest, wildest parties?
No, let's not go for parties. Let's go for a combination of things to make best. So let's go for who's had the best comparing, stage presence, who's had the best guest speaker, because they've had a few good ones, and then which country again has got the best party. So all three combined.
Okay, I'll do it in reverse order. Party Australia.
As in the worst?
No, as in the best.
As in the best, okay.
As in madness. Sheer, unadulterated, off-the-wall, bouncing madness. Like, don't get me wrong, like being dressed as Freddie Mercury for XeroCon in London.
I thought you were dressed as Jordan Vickery, not Freddie Mercury.
It's subjective, isn't it, of course? But yeah. I think after probably getting on towards 250 tags on videos of me on ski trips or even at XeroCon, I'd addressed as Freddie Mercury / Jordan Vickery, but when I did it on the ski trip with the baby, I said it's Jordan Vickery and baby Trent. I think after like 200 plus tags and mentions on that, I was kind of moving on, but thanks for making it 201. But yeah, party wise, Australia, absolutely hands down, crazy mad people, and yeah, just beautiful humans. Absolutely loved it. With regards to content, the UK has been absolutely phenomenal. I was, however, with the compare yesterday in South Africa. Oh my God, I have never mind a zero event, never mind an event from a global perspective, anything outside of zero as well, whether you're talking any mainstream event, any subcategory event, any small event, anything I've been to in the last 12 years that I've been involved in the accounting and finance industry, the best compare ever was at the Zero roadshow event in Cape Town yesterday. Just unreal human being, unreal. It was even better the fact that some of it, considering it was in Afrikaans, I couldn't understand a single word, but it was brilliant. Maybe that's the reason why, because I couldn't understand it.
No, fair enough. That person had that riz. I get it. Okay, taking it back to business and touching on something you said earlier. Gonna zoom in now because we're getting serious. Zooming in. You mentioned that you're a young lad from a council estate. What advice would you give to other people who are younger than you from council estates in terms of achieving success? Now, I know success is a nebulous term, but let's base it on business and monetary value. What advice would you give to someone whose mindset is, I can't achieve anything? Because you are actually an example of achieving something, right? So what advice would you give to that person who doesn't believe in themselves from your kind of background?
Can I make it wider? Can I make it somebody that is from a council estate or isn't? Because we're all human beings and we all have the same thoughts and feelings regardless of our class position that we're born into society.
We do have the same thoughts and feelings. Yeah, go on, make it wider. Go on then, general.
Consent is appreciated. Thank you. It's you and only you that's going to dictate what's possible for your life. You can talk about having a difficult period, a difficult time, being held back. You can talk about trauma, dark shit, things that you shouldn't have seen, things that you shouldn't have gone through. Everyone's got problems. Everyone's got a backstory. We don't need to have a deep and meaningful about it on our life story. But we've all got a past. We've all got history. Don't be a victim. Be empowered and turn the negativity and the difficult things that you've been through in life into a positive. Like naturally, as adults, Dale, I'm a firm believer. Like if you think back to you being a child, right? And you think about you and who you are right now. Yep. I'm a firm believer that we end up becoming, as an adult, we end up becoming exactly what we needed when we were a child.
I'm going to process that one. Say that again. You believe as an adult you became what you needed as a child.
As adults, we end up becoming exactly what we needed when we were a child. So we needed that person when we were a child to help us in whatever way, shape, or form.
Right.
Personal preference, continue processing, we can unpack it if needs be. But I think regardless of where you've been born into, your class within society, what you have seen, what you've been subjected to, I think it is your mindset that dictates what is possible for your life and not other circumstances. Yes, I want to be direct on something here. I'm a heterosexual white male.
Okay.
That's my perspective. That's my opinion. I have shared, as I do with many things that come to my mind as I see fit, I've shared my perception on social media that I've never had an issue. Like friends of mine that are female, like friends of mine that are black, like friends of mine that are different ethnic minorities. I've never experienced anything that they have. I can only comment purely based upon my perception, which has been formed by exactly what I have been exposed to and which I've been seeing. Yep. There was an argument from a white woman that disagreed with me, and she said, actually, working class white lads that come from council estates are now apparently the bottom of the barrel with regards to society. She kind of went in on me a little bit, which I found quite amusing, because I countered that with, well, I mean, hey, this is my perspective, not yours, and it's also my opinion and my perspective that I'm sharing. just to add a little bit more to it, I was also raised by a single mother. So if you want to play the stereotype card, let's go, honey.
Do you mind if we go a little bit deeper on this, because it's getting a bit personal?
No, please,
but I
please.
want to get, because we're talking about important stuff here. So I've asked you that question. You've answered really well. Thank you,
dudes. If this helps people, absolutely, let's go.
So you said, like, you know, you're not a victim and you can change your narrative. Obviously, you can't advise everyone who's watching this because you don't know their situation. It would be unwise. But can you give any practical steps or things that people can do to change their mindset? Like, what happened for you? Because you told me some of your story personally. I'm not going to talk about your stuff, but you told me how your mind shift changes. Was it like a lightning bolt moment for you? Was it, okay, you read a certain business book and you went, okay, I can do these pragmatic steps? What pragmatic steps can people do to change their mentality from a certain mindset to a different mindset?
Yeah, so from my perspective, my mindset was changed when I hit rock bottom at the age of 21.
Okay.
Everything I knew about the world.
How do you define rock bottom, if you can talk about it, if you're willing to?
Yeah, I absolutely can talk about it. Drug and alcohol addiction in a really bad way, that then creating huge knock-on effects in relationships with friends, family members, with my partner at the time, that then kind of led to us breaking up, the spiraling issues with regards to mental health and depression, everything that comes with that, without going into specifics and details that might be upsetting or offensive to some. So I'm just being mindful of that. But in majority of cases, it doesn't take to get to the extremes of rock bottom, as I've defined it. And thinking about practical steps, you turn around and said the subjective thing of success and what that means to an individual. Like, if you blow this down, somebody either says they're having a great life or they're having a terrible time in life based upon one factor, which is what is their expectation of where they should be in their life right now. If your expectation in life is your goal, and the biggest goal to give you success and fulfillment was you're from a council estate and you wanted to get a stable job, a stable income, and be able to buy your own 2-bedroom semi-detached terrace house costing you 150 grand somewhere in whatever city it is in the world. If that's your expectation of success, fantastic. You feel successful, you feel accomplished, you have done something that family members of yours haven't done before. Yeah, you've been the first one to go to university, you're the first one to start a business, you are the first one to buy a nice car, retire your parents, take your family on holiday, create a big pile of money and burn it because you're an anarchist. Like, whatever it is, the definition of success should be based on your own perspective as to what you feel is going to make you successful, not a pressurized position from a societal perspective, not living up to your parents' expectations.
Yes.
Like, do you know, there's the whole manosphere thing, man. Like, let's unpack this right now. You know what the whole issue with this manosphere
I'll make my statement on the manosphere thing. It is absolute nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. What it's done is it's taken some data and information that is correct and fair and completely twisted it, and it's absolute nonsense. And I watched the Louis Theroux documentary and I was like, yeah, he's exposed it for the nonsense it is. 100%. It's materialistic. You've got to be doing this, this, and this to be successful. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. I think fair to say we're very much aligned on that. I think, do you know what the issue is with young lads, mate, and the whole thing about masculinity and masculinity being a bad thing? Masculinity is absolutely a wonderful thing if it's in the right way. What young men need now is actually more masculinity. They need dads that didn't, leave the home, cheat on the mum, bugger off, and never bother to speak to them because they're inconvenience. That's what young men need. They need better, stronger role models who are normal, decent human beings that can be strong enough to speak their minds as opposed to holding it in, which is historically and still is for a lot of men a big issue. Men don't talk about their problems. Men, in many circumstances, have significant issues with mental health. From another perspective, men shouldn't be controlling. They should be supportive, not just to other men, to women, right? How we are as men is typically formed by how we have seen. Sorry, let me take a step back. Who we are as men is typically formed on what we saw from our fathers, how they reacted with us, how they didn't react with us, what they praised, what they didn't talk about, how they treated our mothers and other women in our life, because we have set expectations on how we should interact with other men and other women based upon the person who we at one point idolized, looked up to, or had as that senior person in our lives, whether that be our biological father, whether that be a grandparent, whether that be an uncle.
Yep.
We base who we are and how we work and interact on that. And if you're a lad that's in the 20s, that's an absolute inebriate and, sorry for swearing, but a complete and utter dickhead to women and other human beings everywhere, what is the root cause of that, and what is that problem? You're playing up to a dad that never loved you, left you, treated your mum like shit, so you think it's okay to go and do that to other women? Come on, man. That's the problem, right? So I think it is men everywhere, whether we're dads and we're lucky enough to be called dads, whether that is biologically, whether that is because we're a stepdad, and like hats off to all the stepdads out there, because, you know, credit to you guys, right?
It's a hard job. It's a hard job.
Straight up, man. But as men, we need to step up and not shy away from masculinity, but be that voice in the room that says, hey, man, that's not okay. But not be controlling about it, and be careful and kind and considerate with our actions and our words. Like, dude, that's what society needs, and it needs all men to step up and be that guy.
This is why I like having you on the show. You actually talk about the deep stuff with me. You're cool with it. Much appreciated, man. Thank you.
What's the point of superficial conversations? Life's too short.
Well, sometimes they're fun. I'm not going to lie. We have banter. They're pretty superficial. They mean nothing. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Our witty repartee.
I was just saying, if I hadn't shaved my, I would have twizzled my mustache at you, sir.
Ooh, have you ever had a twirly mustache?
Listen, I'm gifted in life with many things, mate. My height, my baby blue eyes, and my silver-tongued sales ability. One thing I am not gifted with is being follically endowed on the top lip. You know, I'm 34, soon to be 35. I've struggled. I'm not particularly follically endowed. Yep. This has taken weeks to grow. So
okay, you know
I'll admit my failings. No twizzly mustache.
5 seconds of silence for your follicles. It is what it is. It is what it is.
That was a moment. Wasn't it?
It's powerful.
Appreciate it.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
I'm the same, by the way. This is like 25 years worth of growth. If I shave it off, it's not coming back again. It's not. It takes me ever to grow facial hair.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Yep. If you were to go bald, would you shave it all off?
I'd already gone bald.
Sorry?
I'd already gone bald, so I wouldn't need to shave anything off.
What do you mean you've already gone bald?
No.
You have hair.
So your question.
Okay, sorry. If you start thinning out, yes, it's a poor question. You're right. It's a poorly way. If you start thinning out, there you go. Are you going for a comb over it, or you just shave it all off? There we go.
No, shave it straight off. Don't mess around. No hair piece. No taking some hair from my calves and then, you know, implanting it into my head and all that jazz. It's like, nah, I'm good. Shave the whole thing off.
I'll do this with you.
Yeah.
That's a cheeky request. Should we move our headphones back a little bit? Put our hands over there and see what we look like if we were bald, just for fun.
Like a KSI forehead kind of vibe.
Well, let's see what's going on. Should we give it a go? I'll move these back like this. So this is what I look like if I was. You can kind of see it, right? Not bad.
Thanks, man.
It makes me look younger, actually. I might do that. Yeah.
Take it off.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, people don't know this, but the flat top takes a lot of effort, like far too much effort for me than I'm likely to do. Like,
yeah, shave it off, take it, do it.
Yeah.
What's time? I'll grow back.
So you know the format of the show. We're coming towards the end. We've had some good conversation. You've given business insights. You've given personal insights. We've made jokes, mostly at Tony's expense. Man up, Tony. Now's the time. Do you want to ask me any questions?
What is your thought process on larger to-be-unnamed software vendors completely bypassing the accountants and taking their clients?
It's initial thought, without thinking, it's a foolish mistake to make. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. The fintech and accounting / bookkeeping relationship is symbiotic. And because I'm so sad and geeky, I did some Googling on symbiosis, right? There's like 4 or 5 different types, but essentially there are symbioses that are in perfect harmony and balance. One being gets something out of another, and the other thing gets things, and it works perfectly. If that gets pushed to one side, it becomes an imbalanced symbiosis. And tech companies could argue that accountants, bookkeepers need their products. they do, but also, tech companies need the accountants to have the knowledge and the application of knowledge. So it's a very balanced symbiosis. Don't mess with that symbiosis on either side, right? Accounting firms who try and make fintech products kind of work sometimes, good for them, but they also know not to go too far because they don't want to piss off, again, the hand that feeds them, right? The dedicated fintech products. Same for accounting software vendors. Don't go too far in your offering to the clients, especially if it was the accounting firm or bookkeeper that referred you and helped build that product, right? Just don't do it. It's shitty. It's just shitty. I'll call it out for what it is. It's shitty. That's my thought process on that one. That was off the dome. I didn't plan it. I didn't, hold back. They're my thoughts on it. Why did you ask me that?
It came up in conversation, a meeting I had with a client this morning. It also came up very, very naturally when I was asked a very similar question ahead of an event that I'm going to be speaking at this year. The thought process was around private equity within the accounting and finance sector. There was also a narrative around my thoughts around fintechs completely circumnavigating the accountant and going to their clients. Obviously, there are positions historically where people have, done certain things around marketing to SMEs and having that relationship and contacting them. In some cases, they've run marketing campaigns and loosely said, you don't need an accountant.
Oh, should we name them or should we not name them?
It's a good idea not to.
All right.
Yeah. I keep conversations of that level appropriate and professional with the people that I should be having them with. So I think it's only fair because I don't want to do anything bad to anyone's stock price. But yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. I had a thought on this disappeared. Sorry.
Please. Oh, gotcha. You built it up for nothing.
Yeah. Cool. On that note, I'm not going to lie, I am busting for a wee, so I'm going to end the stream. Clip it up.